you came up with a great idea.
Yeah.
Topic for
You
conversation.
like how I said, yeah, it was a great
Come on,
idea.
come on. So we want you to chime in on this one too. So,
All right, so Jim, this is 2025. I saw something a few weeks ago where someone had made up the 25-year, all quarter decade, or quarter century. I'm sorry, not quarter decade. That doesn't make sense. Right. The all quarter century baseball team, right? And they picked basically an all-star team of players from the last 25 years.
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago, I was talking to Jim. I was like, well, I had this idea, man. I'm like, I came up with my own all quarter century team for the NBA. So when to share it with you guys.
From 2025.
To see what you guys think about this.
okay.
And so
now, how did you break it down? Is it by team?
What I did was I went traditional.
You went position by position.
Position by position with the starters. I put center power, 5-4-3-2-1, and then just kind of looked to see who had the biggest impact, who was the greatest at that spot over the last 25 years.
Okay.
So you just want to jump in there?
Yeah, jump in. Let me see what you got.
So starting at the center, I mean, Shaquille O'Neal. Let's just put it that way. He's the starter. 3 titles, the most dominant player ever. Shaquille O'Neal at the center. I got Tim Duncan at the power forward. 4 titles, 2 MVPs. 2 final MVPs, the greatest power forward ever. At the 3, that's LeBron James at the 3. 4 titles, 4 MVPs, 4 finals MVPs, 9 finals. At the 2, take a guess. I'll let you say his name.
Come on, you already know who it is.
Okay, the Mamba.
I'm loving this team.
5 titles. The man influenced the world. And then at the point, I got Steph Curry. 4 titles, 2 MVPs, 1 finals MVP. Yeah. Like we said, he changed the game of basketball. Sometimes I say he ruined the game of basketball because these kids, where am I at? Kids, you ain't Steph Curry. You can't shoot like Steph.
Hey, the coaches ruined it. He didn't ruin it.
He didn't ruin it.
Because the coaches let him. So, you like that 5?
Man, it's a lot of purple and gold on it. I love it.
That's my top 5 too.
Okay,
the exact same 5 that you. And I didn't do it by position. I just did it by impact and by winning. And I don't think people understand how dominant, especially in the finals, Shaq was.
Yeah,
I mean, disgusting.
What
I mean,
it
was
do with the man?
Nothing. I know Jersey didn't have the center, or Indiana at the time.
Aaron Williams did his best.
He did his best, but who? I don't care what center you had.
Not at that time. No.
And Tim Duncan is one because they didn't win the back-to-back, but it was like every other year. San Antonio's there.
Exactly.
And Tim, because of his unassuming personality, he gets lost in the conversation when we start talking about the best that ever played. I mean, because again, we look at it.
He wasn't flashy.
He wasn't flashy. I said Kareem. Probably one of the great. He's probably the greatest basketball player from high school. If you put his high school statistics, college statistics, and pro, nobody else stacks up to that. Yeah. And I've said that forever. Okay, so your second is this is going to be good.
So then I went with a 5-man bench.
Okay.
I got Joker in there, Nikola Jokic. I mean, you're talking 1 title, 3 MVPs, 1 final MVP, just dominant right now. He got that nod. D Wade at there, 3 titles, 1 finals MVP, Flash. I also got KD, Kevin Durant, 2 titles, 2 finals MVPs. Kawhi, 2 championships, 2 different teams, 2 finals MVPs. I mean, that's the guy right there, man. And he was the best player on 2 championship teams, obviously. This last one was tough, man, this last spot, because there were 3 guys I was trying to decide between.
Okay.
Dirk Nowitzki, KG, and the guy I eventually went with, Giannis. Yeah. So that was the hardest to leave those 2 out.
See, that second unit is a lot tougher, I think, than the first.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's not a lot of, like, I had Jokic, of course. I had D Wade. I had KD.
Okay.
I had actually KG. I had Kevin Garnett.
I got no problem with that.
Okay. And I had Giannis. And it was Dirk is right there. And I'm like, okay, but it's a small, and again, the list, people going to put the list, is semantics of what you want. And people going to say, well, where's Allen Iverson?
Yeah. And first of all, that Allen Iverson is my second favorite player of all time behind Dr. J. But I couldn't realistically put him on this list and leave Kawhi off?
Right.
Like leave.
I mean, some people may not like, but James Harden, what the numbers that he put together.
But again, Without a title?
Without a title. Again, but
seeing what Kawhi did?
LeBron said titles really ring culture, don't.
Yeah, I would say that too if I was up there with Steve Nash.
Steve Nash, the 2 MVPs.
Steve Nash, he was on, like I said, I had a 12-man. It was tough to cut that second fight down.
Well, I was on, so during that season, I was with the Suns when he won his second, when Kobe averaged, 37?
Well, that's that 06 Kobe.
Yeah, 06 Kobe. And I ended up coming to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Okay, to play. And we ended up playing Phoenix in the first round of the playoffs. Anyway, so I was there during that time when that whole thing. And it is amazing to me, too, that Shaquille and Kobe have only won 2 in between the two of them. Now. I mean, that's
crazy.
That's bananas.
Yeah.
But it goes to show you, too, that in that mid-period, how I would say because of Tim Duncan, because of Shaq, because of the emergence of LeBron James, that it was a tough separation between, and then it skewed down to winning. A lot had to do with the winning.
Yeah.
To the winner went to spoils. That was at the time when Phoenix won it at 62 games, the winner went to spoils, a lot of times. But I thought Kobe deserved, and Shaq, more than what they've got.
Yeah.
absolutely.
But make no mistake about this. Steve Nash was a bad
come on, man.
And I was thinking this last night. I was just randomly start watching this Steve Nash highlight on YouTube after I posted the stuff on for No Contest. Just watching him play, I literally just went, man, I miss watching Steve Nash.
Let me tell you something. One time we were playing Golden State, and I was on the I wasn't starting, of course. I was coming off the bench.
What do you mean, of course? Jim
Jackson.
Jackson.
No, man, I was old at the time.
Okay.
But here's the thing that I was mesmerized. First quarter of this game against Golden State, Steve orchestrated the offense like no other. I mean, it was unreal. He was putting guys in places, and what made Steve so outstanding as a leader is that left hand, right hand. He can drop passes in off the wrong foot. He's doing all this little stuff.
His mid-range
So what Steve was really good at was he wasn't the fastest. So once he gave it up,
quick,
like Steph, he'll catch it back on the move, which put his defender on his hip. So then Steve could get downhill and turn the corner. You come, he dropping down. I was sitting there watching. And then Mike D'Antoni was like calling me to come in again. I couldn't even hear him. I was just sitting there. I'm like, huh? Because that's what Steve did. And you didn't expect it from that man from Santa Clara.
Yeah.
You knew what he did in Dallas. It was cool. It was great. But the stuff we saw in Phoenix, man, was just...
Him and Stoudemire together.
Bro, it was different, man. Check out new episodes of The Jim Jackson Show every Thursday. Watch on The Rich Eisen Show YouTube page. Follow the show on Instagram @Jim Jackson Show, or listen wherever you get your podcasts.